Welcome back. Today I have something really exciting for you. We will build our very own custom GPT with the custom GPT builder by OpenAI. This is completely no code, so anybody who's enthusiastic enough can do it, I promise. And I'm going to guide you step by step through this process. This is especially great if you have a recurring task where you have long prompts that you input over and over and ask ChatGPT along the same things. And this will really help you and save you some time to have not only an efficiency gain, but you will get a lot less generic answers, I promise. And to further enhance it, you can even upload files to it, like text files, to give it even more context to work with. When it dropped at the beginning of this year, I was super excited and immediately started building. The first thing that I built was a film recommendation engine for myself because I was quite frustrated with the way that, for example, the Internet Movie Database app or any other streaming service really it recommends you movies because it doesn't really care about why you like this movie. And this is how I built the app. That was the premise that it was founded on, that it really tries to understand what movies you like and why you like them, or series for that matter, and then make educated recommendations. I even added links to IMDb and to trailers, so you can try it out. I will put the link down below in the description, and I hope you find it as useful as I still do. I'm still using it today. You can test it for free, but to build your very own custom GPT, you need to have a Plus membership, which should be around $20 in whatever currency you are at the moment. But trust me, it is really worth it because for a lot of companies and even for a lot of individuals, this can save you so much time for the little and bigger tasks. What we are going to do today is more business oriented. We will build a marketing GPT, which will help you with two things. Number one, it will help you to brainstorm about a strategy, about your content. And then secondly, it will help you to write that content and provide you structured templates that you can use in your LinkedIn posts, articles, wherever you want to post, really. So I hope you're excited for this, and let's dive right into it. All right, so we are in classic Chat GPT, and to get to our custom GPTs, we have to open this and then go to My GPTs. And again, you need some sort of premium account for this. Either you have Plus or, as I do, I have the team account. Click on My GPTs. Here you see My GPTs, which are blurred out because they're secret. And I can just create a new GPT here. And you will see two windows. One is the configuration, kind of the backend, not so fancy, where you have the name and the description. What does it do? This is the system prompt. Conversation starters, these are the little bubbles that you usually see at ChatGPT, when you just click on it and it has a short prompt following it. Here you can upload some files, code interpreter, Dolly if you allow web browsing, and here you can even have automatic actions. We're not going to get into that today because this is for beginners and we are doing the basics. You can fill this manually, but I'm going to show you an easier way to do this with a message GPT builder. So actually, ChatGPT is going to help you to build a custom GPT, and especially to give it a name, to give it a system prompt of what it should do. And we will now answer a couple of questions about what the GPT should do, and then we will look at the configuration again. And you will also see the previous side of this equation change, because this is what our final GPT will be. It will always be on the right side, and not always like this, but when it is finished, you can even access it from your phone. All right, so help you to build a new GPT. And what would you like to make? And as I said at the intro, we are going to make a marketing GPT, so I will be extremely short and just answer the questions that the builder bot asks me. I want to make a marketing GPT that helps me with brainstorming for content for my company, and then generates templates for LinkedIn posts as a result. Let's do that. Then we see it is responding, it generates some tokens, words, it's updating the GPT. Now it updated it. You just see on the right side, marketing, content, very descriptive. Could be shorter. It even gives you some of these bubble conversation starter prompts. And LinkedIn Marketing Pro, I love it. Absolutely love it. You could also just say yes. Yeah. It generates a profile picture. It just goes step by step through the process of helping you. It generates a profile picture, which you're going to see here on the right side immediately. You can upload your own company picture. Yeah, so feel free to do this or not to do this. Okay, now I made a mistake. I like it. I like it. Yeah. So let's go for a mix of content, because we are going for a balanced approach here. All right. What should it avoid or emphasize? This is also something important. When you're working with this is just a template. You can change anything and everything later. You can decide to work with this bot, with this builder, but you can also go directly into the configuration. Why? Let's just do that right now. See, it added the name, it added what you see here, the LinkedIn Marketing Pro, and then it added the system prompt, which is this. So quite exciting stuff. We will go through the structure of this in a minute when we also upload some files to give it context. So let's pretend I'm doing this for my podcast and my LinkedIn content, which I did, and what to emphasize and what to avoid. I would say this is for my podcast, which is about educating non-technical, can't type today, technical users about AI and large language model topics. Use conversational language and avoid technical jargon, right? So we are giving it a very simple task, what to do with style. We are also giving it a direction in audience, so-called role assignment, and we are telling it to be simplistic, conversational, because this is my target audience. And it's updating the GPT right now. So what it does now, it's updating in the configuration. It is updating the system prompt. Should be friendly or casual. Let's say casual. This is more about not the content that it generates, but it is about how it interacts with you. And we don't really need, I mean, if you want a very professional tone, it can definitely do that, and it can have very corporate jargon as well, if that is what you want to do. At the moment, I want to keep things very simple. Okay. Yeah, and now it is done, and we can look at the configuration file. All right, so now we are in the configure part of the GPT, and I will show you what the agent builder did. And I structured it a little bit more so you can see what part of the instructions or the system prompt does. First of all, we have the system message role assignment. Very important, this GPT is designed to assist with marketing-related tasks, primarily brainstorming, creating LinkedIn post templates. So what should it do, right? By the way, you don't have to structure it this way. It will also work if you don't do it. Demonstrational purposes here. User context. It helps users develop innovative marketing strategies. So we are the user, I'm the user. And content ideas for the podcasts, translating them into professional yet approachable LinkedIn posts. And 3, this is probably the most important part of this one, because it's, it should generate really good templates for us that we don't have to work on so much. That is the main reason that this marketing GPT exists. And since the podcast focuses on educating non-technical users about AI, the GPT should emphasize a conversational tone without technical jargon. And interesting here, casual, friendly tone to make interactions relaxed and engaging. That interaction is with you, right? And while still providing polished, business-oriented output, that is the output. That is the template for the LinkedIn post. So also interesting that you can differentiate on how it talks to you, interacts with you, and what the output is. I never told it to be very businessy with me, so I wouldn't know. Maybe you can tell me how that would look like. Then some more context, understanding the user businesses and goals, creative solutions when necessary, so it sticks to what you tell it and doesn't go overboard with the creativity and the output constraints. Actionable, creative, and professional output suitable for marketing, podcasts, and educational content on LinkedIn. So, that is the direction that the output should go in. And very, very basic system prompt. You can be much more precise. There were also some things, it shouldn't really do marketing podcast content. It could, but if we would really be very precise, we would tell it to do only LinkedIn. But that's our decision. Here you can upload files, and this is very, very important, because besides this, it would still give us quite generic output, even though we directed it with the system prompt. And we have to do something which is called, in prompt engineering, this is called few-shot prompting. This really only means that you give it examples to work with, structurally and also stylistically. So that in the end, when you use this versus just ChatGPT, then it will know the style of the post that you're looking for, your style or your company's style, and also the structure, for example. You can also use this for articles, for any content at all. And what you could, so I would really urge you to upload some examples of, articles, posts, the content that you want to generate, and then the output will be much better. And you can also provide information about yourself, about your company, your SEO, your hashtags, for example. I would just urge you to label them correctly, like which part is which in the document. It really helps the model identify, and when it makes mistakes, then you can just reference a document by name, a part in a document by name, for example. And one more tip, it's really important that you don't put in thousands of documents here, because this is not an enterprise level application. This is really for smaller use cases in a way, and it's really simple to making these kind of applications and custom GPTs, and this is because the model that we're using is, for example, 4.0, GPT 4.0, and this has something called a context window. And a context window of 128,000, tokens, just means that you can put approximately this number of words inside, a little bit less. And what happens if you exceed this, then the new words or paragraphs are just not recognized, and it's like you haven't input them at all. So I would urge you to stay within a bit less than 300 documents, a standard Word document. It should pan out this way, and you have to leave some room for the context window if you have a longer prompt to instruct it when you talk to your GPT. And also, I really recommend using text files and not like PowerPoints and pictures and PDFs, just because it is easier, it's harder for the model to actually understand what you are trying to do, because it's a lot unstructured, a lot more unstructured, and structure is everything here. As they say, garbage in, garbage out. So if you just provided very structured examples and context, your output and your templates will be so much better. And now we will go to an example, ChatGPT versus a more tailored custom GPT for marketing purposes. Now we are using the ChatGPT app, and this is just the standard version, and I'm going to ask it what is the Discover the Ordinary podcast, just to check about the knowledge. And this just means that it goes online, and it gives me a couple of results, right? The ordinary, things like that. This is definitely not me. I'm not Simon Sinek either. So it looks online, it tries its best, but it cannot really identify me or my podcast. And this is because it lacks the domain knowledge, because this is a large language model that is trained on vast amounts of data. And I just gave it a one-shot prompt, right? We remember few-shot prompts, which means giving it examples, so I made it really hard for it. So what we're going to do now, we are going into the marketing GPT that I created for myself and my podcast, in the same way, just with a little bit more time invested, that we looked at in this tutorial. And this is called DTO marketing. And now we will see how this is different from the other result. Tell me about the Discover the Ordinary podcast. You see, because this now has domain knowledge, because I gave it a really detailed system prompt. I gave it examples of what it should know and what it should do. It knows me. It knows about that I talk about AI. It knows me. It knows my first episode because I uploaded it. And it knows about the common themes. And these are the references. Whoops. And now I'm going to ask it to just write me an introductory LinkedIn post with a one-shot prompt. I'm not going to give it any examples for this because now we can be much simpler with the GPT because we put in a lot of work in the beginning. Because otherwise we have this problem that we have to do repetitive work, and long prompts, we don't have to do that anymore because all the examples are in the GPT. So write me an intro LinkedIn post about the podcast. Very, very simple. This is actually what I say. This is my first line in my first episode. Yeah. Lesson, Magic the Gathering, challenge today, that came. So, quite good, short sentences because I told it actually stylistically because a lot of the problems with the standard ChatGPT is that it just has run-on sentences, a lot of adverbs, lots of adjectives and words that nobody uses. So I really trained it to have, instructed it to have very simple language, and that is better. So yeah, it's a pretty decent effort. And now you can iterate and change it around or change a few words around, and yeah. And just try this out with your own GPT for your own business, for your own content. Let me know in the comments how this worked out for you. And if I have missed anything, just let me know and I'll catch you in the next one.